Thanks, Heather, and thanks so much for joining us today, Mr. Chitty. It is an honor to talk with you. We are thrilled to learn about the brand heritage from the man who helped create it.
Jonathan, it's great to be with you, and especially with our valued Lexus dealer associates. So thank you for being with us, and I look forward to being with all of you today.
How about we start off with you describing the Lexus Covenant?
Well, a covenant is a formal agreement, written or verbal, between people, groups, and parties, especially for the performance of some action. And what you see in the covenant are the three promises of Lexus. We'll build the finest cars in the industry. We'll have the finest dealer network in the industry. And you and I and everyone involved will treat each of our customers as we would a guest in our home.
How did the dealers react to the covenant?
It was interesting. The dealers bought right into the covenant because we had selected the finest dealer network by that time. And when the covenant was presented, they knew all the values and trust that had built up between us early, between the dealers and Lexus. And they thought the covenant was a piece that just combined it all together.
Can you tell us what Lexus was looking for in a retail partner at launch?
We did selection. That's the key word. And in order to do that, we wanted to make sure we had the finest dealers, but what were the qualifications for the finest dealers? And basically, there were four. One, first, was their proven capability to understand and exceed the expectations of the luxury car owner. Secondly, what was their proven record in their community of taking care of the customer? Thirdly, what was their community involvement, corporate responsibility we talked about? And lastly, did they have the financial backing to spend between $3.5 to $5 million on facility and land for an automobile brand, an automobile they had never seen?
Now, what did you tell them about Lexus, and what didn't you tell them about?
Yeah, what did we tell them about Lexus and what we didn't? It's a good question, and here's the answer. Keep in mind, talking about the finest dealer network in the industry. So for the first 81 dealers, we had 1,500 applications. And what we told them was, what are our policies? What's our procedures? How are we going to handle the customer? What's going to be your responsibility? How are we going to back you up? And then what's important that we did not show them was the Lexus automobile. But why, the question was, why did AG Toyota want this done? And here's the reason why, which you might suspect. He was looking for this trust and partnership that carries on today at every Lexus dealership between Lexus and their individual dealers and you individual associates that carry on the Lexus tradition every day. And there's not one dealer that didn't agree.
Now let's talk about the recall. What caused it, and how did you find out about it?
Well, the first recall was a very interesting time and very challenging time. But what happened was one of our sales consultants, Southern California dealership, was on a test drive with a customer. And the cruise control would not disengage with the brake pedal as it normally does. So that was, a dramatic moment. So everything lit up from there. We went and confirmed the condition. And what had happened is the cruise control actuator unit was faulty. That could have been devastating for the Lexus brand, but as Mr. Togo, our president at the time at Toyota Motor Sales USA, who had first requested that we enter the luxury car market, said this: every challenge is an opportunity. Let's make the best of it. And let's continue with this relationship, protecting our dealers and protecting you folks and your job.
How did Lexus respond?
I think perfectly. There were 8,200 LS400s involved. Mr. Dave Illingworth came to me and said, Dick, I want to send an apology letter and thank you letter to each and every one of these 8,200 customers who bought our product, had faith in us, and who we've caused them inconvenience. And so when we'd get each warranty claim in batch, we'd print the letters for Dave, and Dave Illingworth signed 8,200 letters individually.
Were Lexus dealers fully on board with this, and what was their relationship like with Lexus?
The recall, when you look at it, it turned out to be not the challenge Mr. Togo talked about, but the opportunity. Up till then, right after launch, we'd had all the training. Dealers had selected the best people. We'd selected the best dealers, and everything was going fine. And then the recall happened. And what it did in the end was confirm that trust and relationship between dealer, you folks today, and your colleagues back then, between the dealer and Lexus. Because we did this all together, we did it in a partnership, and we did it out of trust.
How did the Lexus dealerships go above and beyond to make sure that their customers, remained happy?
Well, taking care of the car was one thing. Taking care of the customer, obviously, was much more important. And this was going to fall on your predecessors at your dealership, maybe still some of you there. But that's what we were concentrating on. And so at the dealer end, and we directed this to fill the car with fuel, wash it, return it to the customer, and then the dealers added a gift, usually. All done personally, and pickup and delivery. We could make the repairs at their home, which we did in many cases. We sent people to here, there, everywhere, to just go all out to make this 100%, because we knew that there was no alternative.
How was the recall an expression of the covenant, and what does the recall say about the spirit of Lexus?
What it says about us, you and I, is that we have faith in each other. We can trust one another. And especially these Elevate sessions we're talking about now. These are key, because we're working together, looking for new ways to manage, looking for new ways to do things, encouraging you to keep doing exactly what you're doing and giving you new knowledge, giving you new experiences. So that just continues to build, and that's the basis for our success. The old adage is, don't tell me where you came from, tell me what you're doing now and how you're doing it. And that falls to you folks that we're talking about today. And we got every faith and trust that you're going to do just a great job, and you will.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chitty. Is there anything else you would like to share with us?
There is one other thing I'd like to close with. And again, I very much appreciate all of your attention and your time, and especially what you do for our customers every day. But bear with me a moment, please. I've written this down so I can not forget anything about it, so what I want to say. But in an Automotive Journal interview in October of 2018 on the subject of the Lexus Covenant and the recall campaign performed by dealer associates like yourselves and your predecessors on the 1990 LS 400 very soon after the start of Lexus, which we've been talking about. The writer of this article stated this: the Lexus Covenant became a key brand attribute that everyone, from dealership associates to headquarter executives, practiced every day. To which I responded this: you could ask 100 Lexus drivers today, and they would respond this way: the car doesn't break, and the dealer will take care of me. Each of you individually and as a dealer team are the critical frontline associates that help determine the daily, ongoing success of Lexus. Your individual commitment and dedicated, customer-focused actions are what makes Lexus, Lexus. And on behalf of our entire Lexus company, I send along to each of you our most sincere thanks and appreciation for all you do for Lexus, all you do for your Lexus dealership, and especially what you do for your valued Lexus customers. Now, each of you successfully represent the very finest dealer network in the industry, as we've talked about. And no other buddy in the industry, we know for sure, takes care of the customer better than each of you. And I'd like to close with these 3 requests. Take care of the customer, take care of the customer, and take care of the customer. You know you can, and I know you will.